But tell you the cold hard truth. Getting rich is easy, but you won't because you're trapped in a loser's mindset. While you're scrolling on your phone making excuses, someone else is out there getting wealthy using the exact same system available to you. The difference? They took action while you were waiting for the right time. There is no right time. There's only right now. Money flows to those who provide value and demand what they're worth, not to those who beg for scraps and complain about fairness. The wealthy don't play by different rules. They just refuse to lose. So here's your wake-up call. Either you start treating money like the game it is and play to win, or stay broke and keep blaming everyone but yourself. The choice is yours, but choose fast, because while you're hesitating, your competition is already cashing in. Still here? Good. That means there's hope for you. Now let's talk about how we turn that fire in your gut into money in your bank account. The first and most important battle happens between your ears. Most people stay broke because they've been brainwashed to believe wealth is complicated, that it requires some magical formula or lucky break. That's loser mentality talking. The truth? Getting rich is simple. Not easy, but simple. It's a predictable process of value creation, smart positioning, and relentless execution. But you'll never take the first step if your mind is poisoned with poverty programming from schools, broke family members, and media that profits from keeping you weak. Real wealth begins when you delete every excuse you've ever made. No more, I don't have the right connections. No more, the economy's bad. No more, I need more education first. These are nothing but mental handcuffs designed by cowards to justify their own failures. Winners understand money flows to those who solve problems, period. Your current bank account is nothing more than a reflection of how you've been thinking about money up until this moment. Change your mindset, change your life. The broke majority will call this toxic positivity because they can't handle the truth that their circumstances are self-created. They want to believe in some grand conspiracy keeping them down rather than admit they've been thinking like peasants. Newsflash, the wealthy don't have some secret DNA that makes money gravitate toward them. They simply decided to think different, to see opportunities where others see obstacles, to take calculated risks where others cower in fear. Your mindset is either your greatest asset or your most expensive liability. Here's the brutal reality check. If you're not wealthy right now, your current thought patterns are the problem. You've been programmed to trade time for money, to seek safety over opportunity, to value comfort over growth. This slave mentality keeps people poor more effectively than any government or economic system ever could. The moment you start thinking like the wealthy, focusing on assets over wages, leverage over labor, ownership over employment, is the moment the game changes forever. Most people's minds are infected with what I call poverty viruses, limiting beliefs passed down from parents who didn't build wealth, teachers who never created businesses, and friends who are content being average. These viruses tell you to be realistic, to know your place, to not get your hopes up. You must exterminate these mental parasites immediately. Wealthy people think in terms of abundance, not scarcity. They see money as infinite, opportunities everywhere, and themselves as unstoppable forces of nature. Which version of reality do you think creates better results? The transformation begins when you start aggressively filtering every thought that enters your mind. Does this belief move me toward wealth or keep me poor? Does this opinion come from someone who's actually built something or just another keyboard critic? Your mind is a fortress and you must guard its gates like your financial future depends on it. Because it does. Most people let any garbage thought take up residence in their heads, then wonder why their lives are chaotic and unprofitable. Take radical responsibility for your mental environment starting today. This is where true power begins, not with some secret investment strategy or business hack, but with the uncompromising decision that you will think like the wealthy think. You will see yourself as someone who generates wealth effortlessly. You will speak about money with confidence rather than fear. You will surround yourself with other winners who reinforce this mindset daily. Do this consistently and you'll soon discover that making money really is easy because you've become the kind of person for whom wealth is inevitable. The question isn't whether this works. It's whether you have the discipline to maintain this mindset when the world tries to drag you back into mediocrity. The cold hard truth is your excuses mean absolutely nothing in the real world. Quote, while you're sitting there explaining why you can't start yet, why conditions aren't perfect, why you need just a little more time, your competition is out there grinding, failing, learning, and ultimately winning. The marketplace doesn't care about your sob story. It doesn't care about your fears. It only responds to one thing: action. Every second you spend justifying your inaction is another second you're falling behind in the race for financial freedom. Winners understand this fundamental law of the universe. Movement creates opportunity. Sitting still guarantees oblivion. Let me break this down for you in terms even the most excuse-addicted mind can understand. There are two types of people in this world: those who make things happen and those who watch things happen while complaining about the results. Which one are you? The wealthy don't possess some magical quality you lack. They simply developed the habit of executing while others hesitate. That slight edge compounds over time into an insurmountable gap. While you're stuck in paralysis by analysis, they're making moves, building momentum, and creating results through sheer force of action. The math is simple. More action equals more data, more experience, more opportunities. Less action equals more excuses, more regret, more poverty. Here's what no one wants to admit. Your excuses are just lies you tell yourself to avoid facing your own inadequacies. I don't have enough time really means you haven't made success a priority. I don't know how means you're too lazy to learn. It's too risky means you're terrified of leaving your comfort zone. The moment you take complete ownership of your situation is the moment you gain the power to change it. Action is the antidote to fear, the cure for uncertainty, the solution to every single problem you're currently using as an excuse. The clock is ticking. Every day you delay is another day you'll have to make up later when the competition is even fiercer. Understand this. The perfect time will never come. There will always be reasons to wait, always be obstacles in your path, always be voices telling you to slow down. The difference between champions and losers is that champions act despite the obstacles, while losers use them as justification for inaction. The market rewards those who create value today, not those who plan to maybe possibly create value someday. Your bank account is a direct reflection of your ability to push through resistance and take consistent action toward your goals. No amount of wishing, hoping, or planning will ever compensate for a lack of doing. Let me make this painfully clear. Your dreams mean nothing without execution. That brilliant business idea, worthless until you act on it. That investment strategy, useless until you implement it. It's that body you want? Impossible until you train it. The world is filled with talented, intelligent people who never achieved anything because they couldn't translate thought into action. Don't be one of them. The brutal truth is that mediocre execution beats brilliant planning every single time, because at least it produces real-world data you can use to improve. Perfection is the enemy of progress. Action is the only path forward. The most dangerous lie you've been told is that you need to feel motivated to take action. This is complete nonsense. Motivation follows action, not the other way around. Winners understand that discipline trumps motivation every time. You don't wait to feel like working out, you just go do it. You don't wait to feel like making sales calls, you pick up the phone. Action creates momentum, momentum creates results, and results create motivation. Break the cycle of waiting and start building the habit of doing. The only way to build confidence is through accumulated victories, and the only way to accumulate victories is through consistent action in the face of doubt. Your life will be measured by what you did, not what you intended to do. The grave is filled with unrealized potential, with brilliant ideas that never saw daylight, with dreams that were talked about but never acted upon. Don't let that be your story. The time for excuses is over. The time for action is now. Every massive success starts with a single step, followed by relentless, uncompromising forward motion. The question isn't whether you can do it. The question is whether you will. History remembers those who acted. Will you be among them? Or will you fade into obscurity with the masses who let fear dictate their lives? The choice is yours, but choose wisely, because time is the one resource you can never get back. Money doesn't care about your feelings. It doesn't care about your struggles. It doesn't reward hard work for the sake of hard work. It rewards value. The richest people on earth aren't the ones breaking their backs in labor jobs. They're the ones who mastered high-income skills, built systems, and leveraged their time so money works for them instead of the other way around. If you're still trading hours for dollars, you're playing a loser's game. The wealthy don't work harder, they work smarter. They understand that leverage is the cheat code to financial freedom. And if you're not using it, you're leaving money on the table for someone else to take. The first step is mastering a skill that the market values. Not just any skill, something that commands premium pay. Sales, copywriting, coding, negotiation, high-ticket closing. These are the skills that print money. The broke majority wastes time on useless hobbies, while the wealthy invest in abilities that scale. You want proof? Look at any self-made millionaire. They didn't get rich by accident. They identified what the market pays for, mastered it, and then scaled it. If you're not earning what you believe you're worth, it's not the economy's fault. It's because you haven't developed a skill worth paying for. No value, no money. It's that simple. Once you've got the skill, the next step is systems. The broke work manually, the wealthy automate. If your income depends on you showing up every day, you're one bad day away from disaster. Real wealth comes from building machines, businesses, investments, digital assets that generate money while you sleep. The rich don't just work, They create assets that appreciate over time. They hire, delegate, and automate so their time is freed up to focus on scaling, not surviving. If you're still stuck in the grind of exchanging time for money, you're not building wealth. You're renting out your life to someone else's empire. The biggest lie ever sold is that you need money to make money. That's loser talk. You don't need capital. You need leverage. Leverage is using other people's time, employees, other people's money, investors, and other people's attention, audience, to scale your impact. The internet has demolished every excuse. You can build an audience, create content, and monetize skills with zero upfront cost. The problem isn't access, it's inaction. While you're waiting for the perfect moment, someone with half your talent is out there making moves because they understand that leverage multiplies effort. If you're not leveraging, you're leaving money on the table. The wealthy don't just earn, they own. Ownership is the difference between temporary income and lasting wealth. Employees earn salaries. Business owners earn profits. Freelancers trade time. Investors compound returns. If you're not building equity in something, a brand, a company, intellectual property, you're stuck on the hamster wheel of active income. The goal isn't to work forever. It's to create assets that pay you forever. That's why the rich get richer. They don't just make money, they control the systems that make money. If you're not thinking about ownership, you're thinking like an employee, not an entrepreneur. The final level, scalability. Most people cap their earnings because their income is tied to their direct effort. Lawyers bill hours, consultants trade time, but the ultra wealthy, they create products, content, or businesses that can scale infinitely without their constant input. A YouTube video earns while you sleep. A software company sells globally 24/7. A book generates royalties for life. If your income model doesn't scale, you'll always be limited by how much you can personally produce. The game changes when you shift from linear income, hours for dollars, to exponential income, assets that grow without extra effort. Money is a game of value multiplication. The broke work for money, the wealthy make money work for them. If you're not leveraging skills, systems, and scalability, you're stuck in the slow lane while others speed past you. The choice is yours. Keep trading time for pennies or build something that pays you long after the work is done. The system isn't rigged, you're just playing it wrong. Fix your strategy and watch how fast your bank account changes. The rich aren't lucky. They're leveraged. Are you? Listen closely. Comfort is the silent killer of dreams. It's the invisible chain that keeps people trapped in mediocrity, convincing them that a steady paycheck and a predictable routine are enough. But let me tell you the raw, unfiltered truth. If you're comfortable, you're not growing. The moment you settle into a life of ease is the moment you stop evolving. And in today's world, if you're not moving forward, you're falling behind. The wealthy understand this better than anyone. They don't run from discomfort, they chase it. They know that real growth happens outside the cozy prison of familiarity, in the grind, the struggle, the sleepless nights where most people quit. If you want success, you don't get to avoid the pain. You have to embrace it as fuel. The broke majority worships comfort like a religion. They want the rewards without the resistance, the money without the grind, the success without the sacrifice. But here's the brutal reality. Nothing of value comes easy. Every empire was built on a foundation of delayed gratification, relentless effort, and a willingness to endure what others couldn't. While the weak are scrolling social media, the strong are strategizing. While the average are binge watching Netflix, the elite are building businesses. The difference isn't talent, it's tolerance for discomfort. If you're not willing to suffer short-term for long-term gain, you'll forever be at the mercy of those who are. Discomfort is your compass. It points you toward growth. The gym is uncomfortable, but it builds muscle. Cold calls are uncomfortable, but they build sales skills. Rejection is uncomfortable, but it thickens your skin for bigger battles. The problem isn't that success is hard, it's that most people are too soft to handle the process. They want the six-pack without the diet, the millions without the wrist, the respect without the grind. But the universe doesn't work like that. You don't get what you want. You get what you're willing to endure. If your life feels easy right now, that's not a good sign. It means you're not pushing hard enough. Let's be brutally honest. Your comfort zone is a graveyard for potential. The reason you're not where you want to be is in bad luck, the economy, or some grand conspiracy. It's because you've been choosing safety over growth. The wealthy didn't get rich by accident. They made a conscious decision to do what others wouldn't so they could live how others couldn't. They embraced the early mornings, the criticism, the uncertainty, the failures, because they knew discomfort was the price of entry for an extraordinary life. Meanwhile, the average person hits the snooze button, avoids risks, and wonders why nothing changes. Wake up. Your comfort is costing you your future. The most dangerous lie you've been sold is that life should be easy. Social media has poisoned minds into believing success should come fast, fun, and frictionless. That's a fantasy. Real success is messy, it's stressful, it's full of setbacks, doubts, and moments where quitting feels easier than continuing. But here's the secret. The discomfort is the point. It's the filter that separates winners from losers. If it were easy, everyone would do it. The reason most people fail isn't because they can't, it's because they won't endure the temporary pain for the permanent gain. They won't trade tonight's comfort for tomorrow's freedom. Don't be one of them. Discipline is choosing what you want most over what you want now. The wealthy aren't some magical breed of humans. They've just mastered the art of delayed gratification. They understand that short-term pain equals long-term power. They'll skip the party to work on their business. They'll take the cold shower to strengthen their mindset. They'll face rejection daily to build unshakable confidence. Why? Because they know comfort is the enemy of progress. Meanwhile, the average person is addicted to instant dopamine, fast food, cheap entertainment, lazy habits, and then wonders why their life looks average. The math is simple. The more comfort you sacrifice today, the more freedom you'll have tomorrow. Here's the bottom line. If you're serious about winning, you have to fall in love with the grind. Not just tolerate it, love it. The early mornings, the failures, the criticism, the uncertainty, these aren't obstacles, they're the path. The reason most people stay stuck isn't because they don't know what to do. It's because they're not willing to do what it takes. But you're different. You understand that discomfort is the currency of success. Every second you spend in struggle is an investment in a future where you call the shots. So ask yourself, are you going to keep chasing comfort and die mediocre? Or are you going to embrace the pain and live? The choice is yours, but choose fast. The clock is ticking and the world only rewards those who dare to endure.